The Philippines has one of the highest numbers of sharks and rays around the world, with at least 200 species existing in its waters. However, they are facing threats of extinction, with over 100 million sharks killed every year. Next week, Save Sharks Network Philippines and the Philippine Dragonboat team are organizing a fluvial parade to raise our awareness on shark conservation. And to tell us more about this, joining us via Zoom is Save Philippine Sea's Chief Mermaid, Anna Oposa. Good morning, Anna. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, Anna. Anna, first tell us more about the significant concern here, which is shark conservation. You know, here in the Philippines, how serious are the threats now about extinction?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are almost 200 or more than 200 species of sharks here in the Philippines, and we're known to have really high biodiversity. But there are so many threats like marine pollution, overfishing, lack of enforcement. So we really need to do a lot of awareness raising and working together to be able to protect these species.
Right. If we don't act now, it really could be too late. You know, sharks are used for, they're harvested for their fins. Their shark meat is used for all sorts of fish balls, dishes, and whatnot. And generally, I think even traditional medicine beliefs have an impact on this. And generally, people usually have a very bad perception against sharks and rays. How do we change this and really sort of inform people of how sharks have much more to fear from us than us of them?
Yeah, when we have workshops, we always ask our participants, like, what's the first thing you think of when you hear the word shark? And everyone always says, I'm scared, takot ako, kakainan ako. So we're trying to change that perception by showing them how important sharks are. So they have many roles in our Philippine economy, like especially for tourism. Like think about the whale sharks and the thresher sharks, bringing so many kinds of livelihoods to our fellow Filipinos. And they also play a role in maintaining the balance of our marine ecosystem. So that's what we're trying to teach, raising the appreciation also of our audience members.
Right. What's the best way to do that, though? I mean, how can we get more people in the water or to just generally appreciate the importance? I mean, you hit the nail on the head, obviously. They have a very important role in maintaining the food chain and the balance of the ocean. And we really need to recognize that, and we can't upset that.
Yeah, there are many ways that people can support this cause. So we're advocating for a legal framework to make sure that these sharks have a future. You know, 50, 100 years from now, we still want to see sharks in our water. So that's one way you can support it, right? Our legislators. Next week, during Shark Conservation Week, we have different kinds of events all over Metro Manila. They will be posted on our social media pages. So we have like a mural painting, we have a storytelling session, we have a K-pop dance for the sharks happening also here in the metro. So those are ways you can show up and just show your support to the sharks and for our Philippine seas.
Well, of course, there's the Fluvial Parade, in cooperation with the Philippine Dragonboat groups. Tell us a little bit more about that. It sounds like it's going to be something fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's happening on Monday, and we are going to be in Manila Bay with the dragon boats and representatives from the Fisher Folks Association and the media. And we're going to have a press conference after. So you'll see our boats flying through Manila Bay with signs to promote shark conservation. And then we'll be talking to our friends in the media on why we need to protect these species.
Right. In terms of the threats to sharks and rays, where do you think that's coming from? Are we the problem, local fishermen, fisher folk? Do we need to pay closer attention to people who come into our waters and overfish? And in terms of policies and policing these legislations, how is the Philippine government doing, and what else do we need to sort of do to, for pardon the pun, to put some teeth to these laws?
I love that. So, naalala ko si Taylor Swift. I'm the problem, it's me. But we are the ones that, I mean, not, it's hard to blame just one sector, right? All of us are part of this problem, which also means that all of us are part of the solution. In terms of policies, we already have good environmental laws, but there isn't one specific to all the kinds of sharks we have in the Philippines. So that's what we're trying to address with the work that we're doing. Kasi nga sharks are so unique. They're so different from other kinds of fish. So they need a different kind of policy also to support. So far, we've had good support both from the upper and lower houses in the past few years. We've been advocating for this for like 12 years already. So what's important is we get to the finish line, pun intended with the fin, but we want to make sure that we finally get it passed. Because every year we reach the election, so that we go back to the beginning. So hopefully this year we have some kind of legal framework passed.
Right. Well, you guys certainly aren't shy on the puns. I love the whimsical website you guys have. Listen, aside from the activities that you have planned for next week, what's the best way that people can get involved, and what's the best way that we can just sort of, I don't know, put a friendlier face to sharks and change people's perceptions?
Yeah, that's a great question to end with. And we want you to appreciate sharks. So maybe don't watch or don't make other people watch movies that depict sharks in a negative light. You can
Okay.
also show videos that talk about how important they are to different communities. And there are already videos done about the Philippines, of, for example, the treasure shark in Malapascua. You could also avoid or don't support businesses that, for example, sell shark's fin soup or fish balls that have sharks in it, or buy products that use shark leather. So that we always say that if the buying stops, the killing can too.
Right. Basically, just inform yourself and have a greater appreciation for the big picture there. Thank you for joining us this morning, and it's always a pleasure to have you. That was Save Philippine Seas Chief Mermaid, Anna Oposa.